the transom inwale. There's two sections to this. This is the top section that gets installed first, and there's another piece that gets glued beneath it afterwards. These little blocks hold it in place, and then you use the nails into the top of the hull to secure it for gluing. Putting this in kind of forces the aft end of the hull and the transom into the correct shape. Fits well. There's a little bit of a seam here that's going to get filled with epoxy. That's how it'll be secured. Then tomorrow the second piece will be installed underneath. This is dry at the moment, but it's ready for epoxy. This fits nice and flush with these little plywood tabs hanging over the back. They're hot glued onto the top of this and then nailed into the top of the transom. And this fits nice and flush here. Top of the transom flush with this, so there's a little bit of a camber. And then this little seam here is going to get injected with epoxy, just like I did on the hull seams. Unthickened and then some thickened epoxy, and that'll hold it in. So to glue this inwale in place, just like the hull seams, I injected unthickened epoxy in that seam between the inwale and the hull, and it's a little bit open at the top because the edges of the inwale are square and the hull has an angle, so that keeps the top open just a touch. In between these little blocks. And then once it was wetted out with the epoxy, I put in some slightly thickened epoxy to glue it all the way around. And then at the same time, I did that same thing to the transom seams on the inside. Unthickened first, then thickened in between, mostly in between the wires on both sides. So that secures the transom as well. So now the stern end of the boat is starting to come together structurally. Once the glue cured on the first transom inwale, I removed the clamps and the nails, and then I installed the second layer. It's another 1/4 inch layer of plywood shaped virtually the same, but a little bit smaller so that it fits inside the hull. I made sure that was aligned with the front edge of the top section, and then I glued it in place, clamped it securely like this. Then in the center line, there's a little like 1/2 inch thick piece of plywood doubler that goes right on the center. And I did a couple of preparatory steps to that and then glued that in as well. And that's the last major structural step to the transom before filleting. Once the glue on the inwale parts cured overnight, I removed all the clamps and cleaned up the edges a little bit. It's nice and even between the two layers and the little center doubler piece. And a little bit of a round over on the bottom, just hand sanded. I made sure it was clean underneath, which it was. Then I removed the wires from the transom and the nails that had been in there and applied these fillets. These are structural fillets, and they go all the way around the transom and then up underneath the inwale on both sides, across the center. This would be a challenging place to start filleting if one had never done it before. There's a lot of corners. Fortunately, I've done a lot of fillets in my life, so this posed no real problem. There's a couple little burbles here and there, like that little spot. There's another spot down there right by that hull seam. That's where I picked up the filleting tool. But those are easier to fix later than to try and make it all perfect right now. The goal is to get it good and in these corners, but if there's a little bit of a void or a spot, then it's easier to patch it up with a little epoxy later. Really avoiding sanding too much is the key, and I find it's much easier to get it 90% there or whatever, and then if there's a spot you want to patch up for cosmetics, you can do it. Some of this will be visible, so of course we want it to look good. This is not going to be a bright finished hull on the inside, so a little more wiggle room, but that said, I'm really pleased with these fillets, and it's finally tying the transom together for real.